Hey! Hey, wake up! I was in the middle of a story. When is the deck tech? Listen, we'll get there when we get there, buddy. I'm starting to think you're not appreciating the holiday spirit. Do I need to remind you what happens when we don't show appreciation for the holiday spirit? Good! Then let's continue.
We return to our dark and dreary story about one Ebenezer Moot. After being visited by the spirit of Saint Draft, Ebenezer Moot couldn't sleep a wink. Worried of what vile or vicious spirits may now come to haunt him, he remained awake. His mind was working overtime to think of a way out of his predicament. Just as Moot's mind nearly reached its breaking point, a loud sound coming from his kitchen broke his concentration.
Is someone there?
Moot asked and received no reply.
If this is about Cosmium, you have the wrong intro.
Still no reply. Moot's heart shuddered. He braced himself for the worst as he clasped the handle to his kitchen door, and as silently as he could he pushed the door open. There, in front of his fridge, he saw a hulking figure.
Hark! Be you the spirit of Christmas past raiding my fridge?
The fridge light revealed the figure. A look of surprise came over Moot's face. It was none other than the Spartan 117.
Wait, Master Chief, you're the ghost of Christmas past?
Halo Infinite sold terribly, and the studio needs money. Listen, I got lunch in 30 minutes, so let's get this thing over with. Step in the portal.
Fair enough. Let's go.
All right, here we are. Now go learn something.
Wow. This is my old LGS, just like I remember. And those are my friends. That song. Why, it must be right before Eldrazi Winter.
It was a sight that brought Moot to near tears. However, this was Ebenezer Moot we're talking about here, so no tears flowed.
Nice place, but it looks like someone's missing.
The thought had come to Moot, and he suddenly remembered why he never comes to this card shop anymore.
Chief, we should leave this place. I don't want to see it anymore.
Ebenezer Moot began to think of a way to leave the place when a certain jingle let him know he was too late. There in the doorway was the once young Ebenezer Moot, full of life and wearing the ugliest outfit he had ever seen.
Hey guys, I made it. Check it out. Brought a new deck. I got it from online. They called it Stacks.
One eternity later.
Hey, where are you guys going? We still have a few games to play.
That was the last time I saw them.
Well, you did play stacks at a table of precons.
It wasn't my fault. I wanted to build a cool deck.
Looks to me like you needed better friends.
Master Chief had forgotten his lines and was dangerously close to learning about appreciating the holiday spirit.
Crap. I mean, it was a cool deck, but maybe you should have put it away after the first game or the fifth. Remember, Christmas is a time to show others you care or something like that.
A thin line, Master Chief. A very thin line.
What's up, Planeswalkers? How you doing? How you doing? Today, things get messy. I decided that I wanted to make a deck that really puts the roaming throne to work, so today's commander, Isshin 2 Heavens is 1, intends to do just that. Now, Isshin is a Mardu 3/4 human samurai that says if a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Now, your average EDH rec enjoyer could figure out that this card can do some busted stuff, but today we break this card in style. This is a human typal deck that can easily steamroll your local combo player. Our strategy is to flood the board and alpha strike our opponent out of the game with some combo running back up. Now, before I get into the details, I am doing a giveaway this month, so if you'd like some free stuff, then check the description for some details. Also, I do request, so if you have a commander you want featured in a video, leave it in the comments or join our channel Discord. Starting out the lads, we have Coppercoat Vanguard for its ward and boost in power, and it's only 2 mana, which is perfect. General's Enforcer gives indestructible to legendary humans we control, and of course we're playing a lot of those, so it's pulling extra shifts. Inti, Seneschal of the Sun, pumps and provides a way to Impulse Rummage, which is better than nothing, and the Trample is nothing to scoff at. Drina, Dauntless General, is Graveyard Height, and in a pinch it is board wipe protection. Well, protection from most board wipes. Knight of the White Orchid can get us a land if we went second, and remember, we search for a Plains card, meaning we can go grab a Triome. Sky Knight Vanguard gives us some tokens and comes with evasion, so swinging with this card shouldn't be too risky. Thalia's Lieutenant can pump our board, and with a few triggers from one of our human token generators, this card can get out of hand very fast. Triumphant Adventurer is a nightmare to block, and going through dungeons offers us some good utility. Adeline Resplendent Cathar is a massive issue and a prime target for the Inti trigger since it gives trample. One of the big upsides of this card is we don't have to swing with Adeline. To actually get her tokens, we just need to swing with one creature. Anim Thousand Moonth also makes tokens and benefits greatly from +1 counters. Audacious Thief draws cards on swing, but honestly, this may be one of the weaker cards in our deck, so if you're looking for cuts, I would probably start here. Boromir, Warden of the Tower for even more protection, and the counter ability isn't totally irrelevant. Captain Lanneray Storm for ramp, Commissar Rain to quickly drain the table, just make sure you stack your triggers correctly so that you make the tokens first before you drain. General Kruger of Draneth is more graveyard hate, but this time we get a Lord and a removal piece that'll make you jump through a bunch of hoops first. Hanaware Garrison because human, make more humans. Lorn of the Third Path for any pesky artifacts or enchantments. Company Commander for more tokens, and the Death Touch makes our tokens hard to block. Hero of Bladehold is cheating because this card actually has 2 attack triggers, one makes the beef and one brings the cake. Aroas, God of Victory, does everything this deck wants, makes combat with our board tough, as our creatures will have menace, and if you do block, damage is prevented to our attacking creatures. Keeper of the Accord, rarely will you ever get the tokens out of this card, but we're mainly playing this to get us lands. Lost in Ark Captain to tap our opponent's board down so that combat once again is very tricky for our opponents. I hope you're sensing a theme at this point. Mishra, Claimed by Gix, is another kill the table fast card because of the double or triple triggers we can get out of it that drain the table. Myrel, Shield of the Aguave, is our Grand Abolisher replacement because for 2 extra mana we get an attack trigger that generates tokens. The only thing that would make this card better is if the tokens were human. Roaming Throne so we can get an extra trigger from our creatures. Tori, Fury Rider to boost the squad while providing benefits to attacking creatures based on their color. Red creatures get trample, and white creatures gain pseudo-vigilance. Adrena, Captain of the Guard, will kill the table very fast if we have Isshin out, as our whole board gets melee. All you have to do is to make sure that you swing at everyone at the table to get full benefits from melee. Aurelia, the War Leader, is one of our 2 honorary humans. We mainly play this card because we have a bunch of creatures that trigger from combat, so an extra combat is even better. Godo, Bandit Warlord for the infinite combat combo, of course. Also, Godo just happens to be a human as well, which is nice. Silverwing Squadron should be a huge attacker in this deck, and like the other creatures, it can swing and build an army in an instant. And finally, Sun Titan, as most of our deck is 3 mana or under, so we get a lot of value from its ETB or attack trigger. Moving on to the spells, we have Swords to Plowshares as a cheap exile removal, and They Shall Know No Fear, naming humans so we can protect our board. Boros Charm fills the same role as the previous card, but it also comes with some different options. 4th, Iralengus to make a haste army token for some easy lethals. Jessica's Will for more mana and cards. Of course, if we have our commander, we get both. Vindicate to remove problem permanents, and Relentless Assault for some sneaky extra combat goodness. Seize the Day because this extra combat actually comes with flashback, so potentially we could take 2 extra combats in 1 turn. Farewell because it's always easier to join them, but seriously, this card will solve most of your problems if you're in a bind. Lastly, Ruinous Ultimatum for the ultimate one-sided board wipe. The mana is a big ask, but the risk is worth the reward. For the artifacts and enchantments, as always, I'll start with the ramp. First, we have Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, and Relic of Legends because of all the legendaries we play. For everything else, we have Conjurer's Mantle to find more humans from the top of our library when we attack. Great Sword of Tyr lets us tap a blocker down and grow our attacker. Reconnaissance, which is a big deal for this deck because now, even if you do have a very scary board that we can't attack into, well, turns out we can still attack into it and then we just remove everything from combat before you can block. That way we lose nothing, we gain everything, and you don't get to make any trades. Horn of the Mark is another way to dig for creatures, Lightning Greaves for the haste and protection it provides, Shalveric Alliance to draw some cards when we attack with 2 creatures, Horn of Gondor to swarm the board fast with humans, then Sword of Feast and Famine as a combo with our next card, Aggravated Assault, which lets us dump 5 mana in for an extra combat. Two-Handed Axe for its equipment side that doubles the power of its wearer. It's an attack trigger, so naturally with Isshin, we get to double the power twice. Helm of the Host for the combo with Godo and Aurelia, and of course, even without the combo, this card is an absolute menace. Mardu Ascendancy for even more tokens. Coat of Arms, which is the usual typo win con. Just remember though, it also helps your opponents out, so be careful of that. Vanquisher's Banner for the Lord effect in the card draw. Rising of the Day for the haste that it provides, and the boost to our legendary creatures is just a nice bonus. Embercleave because this card can still take people out of the game very easily. Shared Animosity, like Coat of Arms, is a auto-include when you're playing a typal deck that's reliant on combat for its wins. Fervent Charge because the boost is sizable enough to matter, and with Isshin, your 1/1s are now 5/5s. For the mana base, follow your budget, but of course there is a mana base in the description of this video that you are more than free to copy. My land recommendation is Minas Tirith, as this deck will have no issues meeting the requirements of this land to draw an extra card each turn. For the combo section, I will show off one of the combos featured in this deck, but there are more for you to find. For this combo, all we need is Aurelia the War Leader and Helm of the Host. Once both cards are on the battlefield and Aurelia is equipped with Helm, we can begin. At the beginning of our combat phase, Helm of the Host triggers, creating a non-legendary token copy of Aurelia. Declare the token Aurelia as an attacker. The token Aurelia triggers, causing you to untap all creatures you control, and you get an additional combat phase after this one. Take as many combats as you need to finish off the table. That's going to do it for today's video, and I do hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how I did, or tell me about your favorite human card in the comments below. Subscribe or join to support the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.